Hello, we're in Malta. It's May 2023 and we're going to discuss a lineup of really superb ready to hang pictures. These are English paintings. That is the Duke of Monmouth. That's King William III. He has an Irish history of note. He was executed in the end, so his life was interesting as well. The paintings are late 19th century copies of mid 17th century originals by Sir Peter Lilly, a court painter. And they are 3/4 length, they're not full length. And there are many painting copies of Lilly paintings. Some are in the school of Lilly, the followers of Lilly, some are just after paintings. These are just after paintings. They're painted much great length of time after the originals painted, but they're very good quality paintings. They're in very good condition because they're not that old. The frames are mid-20th century reproduction frames, basic frames, but these two characters are facing each other. They're a sort of a pair. They are a pair, really. I'm hesitant to say they're a true pair, but they're close to a true pair. They're certainly the same size, and certainly both Lillys. And they have the architectural features in the background. Lilly used the same backdrop over and over again, a bit like a Victorian photographer would. And you have this painting. Looks like King Charles II, but it's not Charles because it's the wrong sash and there's no regalia. This one here has a well-painted helmet, and again the armour is well painted. Sometimes they skimp on the after paintings with the gold detail. They can make it simple versions. These are really nice paintings, good condition, ready to hang. We'll move along the line. This is a Murillo. This is a copy, after painting, of a Spanish painting. This is Archangel Gabriel by Murillo. Again, painted after the original. This was painted perhaps about 1800. Large painting. Again, has a modern frame. Frame is probably 1950, 1960. The painting is a good, faithful reproduction. You have Archangel Gabriel with wings. That one's folded. You have a distinctive golden cloak. You have a distinctive boot. You have the ray of sun coming from heaven. You have a halo. And the original of this painting was for a time held in British Gibraltar to prevent it from being damaged by a war in Spain. So it has an interesting history, the original does. There are a lot of after copies of this painting. It was a very popular painting, and it was copied to death. But of course, in those days, there weren't printing devices. The copies had to be painted. And many of the pictures I have are after paintings because they are good value and are versions of popular pictures. People sometimes screw their nose up at me and say, "Oh, who's it by? Who's it by?" And I say to them, "Well, you'll buy a copy of a Banksy, you'll buy a copy of a Victor Passmore, you'll buy a copy of a Damien Hirst. What's wrong with a copy of a Murillo?" Same thing. This child sometimes is painted without the breast covered, and this painting has a lovely little cartouche, which is a symbol of the owner or the patron or the collection, or perhaps the painter, but probably not the painter. So these are lovely things to have, and they're ready to hang. I'll just show you two more pictures before we go. This is a Preziosi. We've had put in an old frame. We found an old frame. We found an old Preziosi. We put them together with a colourful mount. The benefit of the framing like this is the background of the room, the wall colour will show through. It will go in very well. It means the owner can see the edges of the paper. It means the owner can see the back of the Preziosi, and there is no guesswork when it comes to looking at the edges of the painting. There's no guesswork to seeing what's behind the back of the painting, and I think that's quite important, the way the mark's going. Just another comment here, we've got a lovely English painting by Holloway. This is Burano, Venice. I had it put in a glass case, double-sided glass case. This was delivered this week. Quite expensive job. And the painter is using some of the same colours as this painting. This is a Maltese painting of Grand Harbour, Valletta. These are LM Gallia. You'll see the colours are similar, if not the same. I like very much this way of framing. Some people won't like it, some people find it hideous. I like it, I think it's really good. And I think that these Gallias that we've got about 6 at the moment, I think they would benefit from being framed in a different way. I think it would be better if you could see the rest of the obscured signature. I think it would be better if you could see the extent of the board. I think it would be better if you could see the actual board, which usually has a painted back to mimic oak. So this is where we're heading with our watercolours. We're going to do more of this, and we are going to, if we don't sell this before, we'll have it tidied up and put in a lovely case. Anyway, I hope you found it interesting. We've got some really nice big pictures if you're in Malta, ready to hang. We've got lots and lots of lovely watercolours being being framed all the time. Thanks very much for looking.